Well, 4 or 5 years ago, I think the first time I started to hear something, I went to the bathroom middle of the night. Everything's quiet. It's like acoustics are perfect for something like this. So I guess you're in tune, I guess. And just, went to the bathroom and I was sitting there and I was like, I think it was like 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. And I kept hearing, which I thought was the vent. And what I was hearing was this whoom, whoom, whoom. And I thought at the time it was the vent because I was sitting beside the toilet and the vent was right there. And I'm like, oh, that's a really weird noise for the vent. Then I went to bed and it happened again the next night. And this time when I went to bed, I paid more attention to it. And I'm like, no, it's not the vent because now in my bed, I'm still hearing the same noise at the same level. And I'm like, so I talked to Natalie about it. And I said, well, what do you think this is? And we're like, oh, let's go see the doctor. So I went to the doctor and she's just checking me out. But just my regular doctor. And she's like, again, just doesn't think it's anything.
And how many times did you hear it until you decided to take action?
A couple weeks.
Yeah. So you thought it was just going to go away by itself.
And the music started playing later on, like, by the way. So that was another symptom later on. So at the beginning, that's all I was hearing. Right before the surgery, I would put my head down and I literally would hear music playing. Not music like you would think, right? It's like music like, when a band starts, before they do a performance, they're just jamming out.
Yeah.
And I would put my head down, I hear this jamming out music and I'm like, pop my head up and it would go away. And I'm like, do you guys not hear that?
It has like some rhythm to it.
Yeah. It was fucked up. It was like, what the hell was going on there?
Yeah.
I put my head back down. It was like jamming. I'm like, oh, this must be what was going. This is when this was already diagnosed. So the music part happened later. But yeah, so we went to the doctor and then she was like, yeah, it's just nothing. The people hear stuff like this all the time. We'll set you up with a hearing clinic and go from there. I'm like, okay. So she just kind of dismissed it was nothing. I had my hearing test. Of course, the hearing test came back. The doctor said, like, no, there's nothing there. You're fine. Maybe just monitor it.
So the first doctor said nothing.
The second doctor said nothing. And then I kind of and then we're, pandemic hit and all this other stuff. Like it was I guess they told me it was nothing, just to kind of monitor to come back in a year from now. Then obviously the pandemic hurt ahead and it wasn't something consistent. So that's why I didn't think it was that big of an issue. I've talked to people since the surgery. They're hearing some clicking noises. I'm hearing some water in their ears and they're hearing some other things. And it's more of a constant. So it's kind of in their face. This, I had to be really quiet to think about it. It wasn't a major concern at that point because it didn't affect my life.